Hey everybody, I'm Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and welcome to today's Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 518. If you are joining me during the premiere of today's class, which is 8 a.m. sunny California time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, or 4 p.m. in the United Kingdom, well, oh, do I have a class for you? Oh, do I have a class for you today? But join us during the live chat. That's what I meant to say. There's a live chat going on over here, and usually there's several hundreds of us live chatting away. Don't be shy. Just say hey, give us your name, and I'm sure several of us will say hello back to you. You will find the Scrapbooking Made Simple community very, very welcoming and always looking to make a new crafty friend. Now today is where pretty and practical collide, where if pretty and practical got together to make something crafty, this would be it. Wait. If pretty and practical got together to make something crafty, sound effects required, everybody. Okay, ready? This would be it. I have got product from Simple and Basic, which is an international company. I have got dies and some stamps from Simple and Basic, and then I have paired them with product from Creative Expressions, and then to tie it all up into the most beautiful bow, crafty bow ever, we are adding in Sizzix luster wax. Oh my gosh. So I looked at the Simple and Basic product. I've had it for some time. I looked at it a while ago and said, yep, I want that. I'll take as much as you have. And I bought it. And then I waited for just the right thing to come along to pair it with. Sometimes I have to wait for quite some time until the right thing comes along. And then there it was, like bam, like buy me. I mean, Creative Expressions has come out with some new 3D embossing folders with coordinating stencils that go with the product from Simple and Basic so well. You would think that they coordinated it together, but they didn't. But they should have, and since they didn't, I did. This is a technique-based class. This is full length. So yes, it may be a few hours long, and maybe you have to like chunk it up and watch it in sections. But the beautiful thing is it stays on YouTube forever, and you can come back to refer to it at any time. And if you're not watching during the premiere, so if you don't see a live chat going on, premiere has ended, live chat is over, you are welcome to just go bzzz, sound effects required, bzzz, this is me fast forwarding, bzzz, until you get to the part that you want to watch, because really, I've got beautiful product for you today. And I think when you see the mashup that we have put together, I think you're going to be like, I get it. I see how that works. I got what you're putting down. So before we get there, I have Winner Chicken Dinner to talk about. Now, I do want to say before I get to Winner Chicken Dinner that I am headed off to Disneyland for September 10th, which is my 28th wedding anniversary. Not that Michael and I have been together for 28 years, because we've been living together. Shush, don't tell him. We were living together for 3 years before we got married. So we've been together for 31 years, but really we've been together since I was 13, and he was 17. So now that I'm going to be 55, I mean, to know somebody and be for 40 years, oh my gosh, that sounds like forever. It is forever, but forever's a pretty good thing. Let me tell you, it's working out fine for me. I'm happy with it. So Michael and I are celebrating our 28th wedding anniversary, but we will not be alone at Disneyland. Oh no. I'll see if I can sneak some pictures. I have, flying over from the United Kingdom, Fearless Fiona from Ellison, who has not been to Disneyland. She is flying over. She might be on the plane right now. And Sunday, I don't think she knew it was our anniversary. Sunday, and ta-da, it's Taylor and Sizzix Sarah will be spending their day with Michael and I at Disneyland. And if I'm with new people at Disneyland, when I take new people at Disneyland, they have the best time ever. We all have to have matching ears and matching hat. My poor Disney card goes cha-ching, cha-ching, because she's not been. And then she has a little girl that we're going to have to get something super special for to take home with her, because she can't come see Mickey and not take something home for her little one. So anyway, I will try and post some pictures when we're at Disneyland on Facebook of Sizzix Sarah and ta-da, it's Taylor and Fearless Fiona and Mr. SMS and I having a wonderful time. So 28 years and counting. Well, really 40 plus years and counting, and wouldn't trade them for anything. Now I have winner chicken dinner to talk about. These two people, I think I know both of these people. These two people posted a comment below, not part of the live chat, but below. And because they posted a comment below that was available to be approved, we had to approve it, which means it had to be kind. As long as it's kind, you can say something as simple as, hey, and that works. Really, it does. Every now and then I'll make you say something or do something specific, but most of the time, just be kind. SMS guy James, my eldest son James, is the one who approves the comments and filters out all the spam. And then once your comment is approved, you go into the running to be a winner chicken dinner. And these two lucky ladies did. And now they have $25 in their online account to spend on something that will make their heart happy. Just like Disneyland is going to make my heart happy, well, maybe this $25 is going to make their heart happy. Are you ready to hear if it's you? First winner, Jennifer McNeil. Hello, Jennifer McNeil. How are you doing? Wahoo Kachoo for you. You are a winner chicken dinner. Congratulations, my dear. Very excited for you, but you are not alone. We also have Stephanie. Now, Stephanie spells her name, I think, pretty much the standard way, Stephanie. Now, I have a sister, Stephanie. I haven't seen her in years and years and years. My brothers and sisters went one way and I went another. But my parents were very creative in some of their spellings of my sibling's name. My sister Stephanie is Stephenne, right? Enne. Have you ever seen Stephanie Stephenne? I don't know. But this Stephanie is Stephanie Armstrong. Hello, Stephanie Armstrong. There you are. Is that you? Because you also are a winner chicken dinner along with Jennifer. Are you doing a happy dance? You should be doing a happy dance, both of you. So stand up. I know you're watching. Stand up, even if it's not during the premiere. Stand up and do the winner chicken dance, because you deserve it. You've earned it, so you do it. Are you ready? You're a winner chicken dinner. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo, kachoo for you. Congratulations to the both of you. I see that there are check marks by both of your names. That means theoretically the $25 is in your online account to go have a great time with. Congratulations and enjoy. Now, with that out of the way, I have got, like I said, I've got where pretty and practical got crafty together and made something just fabulous. That's what I have for you today. It is definitely technique based. So I am going to start pretty simple. And then we will get progressively more difficult, more technique-y. I don't want to say difficult because none of this is difficult. All of this is achievable. But I do want to walk you through it. I feel like I've got, I got a hair. Oh, and it's still attached. Don't pull it. There we go. I'm like, what is this? Okay. Mr. SMS likes the long hair. So if that keeps him happy. So, what was I saying? See, we don't edit, so I'm just going to keep going right on through. Okay, so I'm starting simple, something easy that if you are a newbie crafter and have never seen any of this before, you're going to be like, wow, like, wow. And then we're gonna do something a little bit more technique-y, and then something a little bit more technique-y, and then something a little bit more technique-y, so that as you are doing your crafty journey, whether you're starting today or you've been crafting since dirt, there is going to be something here for you to take away. A new tip, a new trick, a new idea, a new thought process on how something can be done. Yes, it's all going to be in this class for you. And this is a class. It's not a demo or a quick, here, let me show you how to make. This is a class. So hunker down, get your coffee, maybe take notes if that works for you. You can certainly put the YouTube number, if you do end up placing an order with us, put the YouTube number in the notes section of your order, so when your product arrives, you know what to refer back to. I can even pause for just a second. I haven't done my pause face in a while, but pause while you go get a piece of paper in case you want to take notes. All right, you guys, I'm going to tilt on down. We're going to get started for today. It is good to see you. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep things pretty straightforward with just plain paper. But when we get to the samples, you'll see what more you can do with them. For me, it's more important to show you how to use the product or how not to use the product than to have something pretty at the end to show you that I've made. I have got beautiful samples that will take care of all of that. Let me teach you how to use some product that truly is just magnificent. All right, are you ready to start for today? Me too. Down we go. Gotta put my glasses on so I know what I'm doing. Down we go. And then let me zoom on in. Yes, I know I do my own, I'm my own camera person. I'm not very technique savvy, but we get the job done. So first card, just some samples to show you. Look at how pretty is that. I think we can go back just a little bit. Look at how pretty is that, right? Are we oohing and awing? I think so. This is a brand new folder from Creative Expressions, and we actually use the deboss side. And these are new dies and stamps from Simple and Basic. So there's one, but then we pop over to here. Look at how cute is this little guy, right? Isn't that darling? Look at how easy it is to make it. And then when you open it, bam! This is where that pretty and practical come together, right? Isn't that fabulous? And wait till you see how easy it is to create that. And then the last one I have for you, again, using an embossing folder and stencil from Creative Expressions and a die from Simple and Basic. And zoop, look at there. You need some quick, easy little gifts for people. Look at how cute is this and how perfectly it fits. So we're gonna get started today. Put those over there, we'll put them right here. We're gonna get started today with simple. I said we're gonna start easy, and we are. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play with an embossing folder from Creative Expressions. It is a 3D embossing folder. It's called Poinsettia Bliss. And then it has a coordinating stencil that is 2 stencils. So it is a layering stencil, which means you could use the stencil all by itself without the embossing folder. Now for today, we're selling either the embossing folder by itself or the 2-pack, the embossing folder and the stencil. At this point, we don't have the stencil, enough of the stencil to make it available open stock by itself. But I do want to start with the embossing folder, and I'm pretty much going to be using white paper for most of all of today. Like I said, the samples that I have for you, those will show embellished out. Those will be the beautiful finished, oh my gosh, aren't they amazing samples. But these are really showing you how to use the product. So I've got a piece of paper and I'm just gonna cut it in half. And I've got my embossing folder. Now I will tell you, Creative Expressions does not index their embossing folders. And when I say index, quite a few companies will either print the entire image of what the embossing folder looks like on the front, or they'll put their name somewhere on it so you know that this is the top. Creative Expressions does not. So you're going to have to do that yourself, either by taking a piece of maybe washi tape. You don't even have to write on it, but maybe a piece of washi tape down in the corner. That way you know that this is the right way up. So how do you know the right way up? Well, on most embossing folders, there's a side that has a raised image. This is all raised up, and a side that has an image that is recessed in. That raised up image is the bottom side, and the side that is sunken into the plastic is your top. And that is how you get an embossing. Now, I talked to Creative Expressions about this a little bit, and they said, well, what does it really matter if it's indexed or not? And I said, well, actually it does. Because if you were doing a piece of patterned paper, or if you were doing a piece of metallic paper that's one-sided, you want to be sure that when you put that paper in, that pretty side is facing you and the right side is facing up. Doing white paper, it doesn't matter. If I were to put it in backwards or forwards or upside down, it makes no difference. It's white paper. All I have to do is flip it around to get the side that I want. But if this were, let's say, opulent paper, and I put it in backwards, well, then you're not going to get the look that you're looking for. So with these, you may want to take a piece of washi tape or something just to mark which side is front. And you always want the paper, the pretty side of the paper, to be facing you. So you look at it. If this is your card, is this the paper you want facing you? And if that is, then you're good to go. Now, 3D embossing folders tend to be a little thicker than normal, and so they run through machines a little bit differently. This is a Sizzix Big Shot machine. Let me just pull it on back. It is the machine of choice here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and has been the machine of choice long before, long before the recent news of my new venture with them. So I've used a Big Shot machine for, I don't know, 15 years probably. You can go back and you'll see that almost every YouTube has a Big Shot machine in it. Big Shot machine is going to do your 3D embossing folders just fine, but there is a sandwich that you want to adhere to. The one thing about embossing folders is that there is no standard thickness industry-wide. Ellison Sizzix 3D embossing folders are thicker than this. Memory Box 3D embossing folders are thicker than this. Nellie's 3D embossing folders are thinner than this. So there's not an industry standard on the thickness of the embossing folder, which means every embossing folder you kind of have to tinker with to find out what sandwich it works with, regardless of the machine you use. It doesn't matter if you're using your Sizzix Big Shot machine or a Gemini machine or a Platinum or a Platinum 6 machine. Anytime you have a varying thickness in a product, every machine you're going to have to figure out what is the correct sandwich. For your Sizzix Big Shot machine, it's pretty simple. We're going to take the base plate that it came with, and here they show for their 3D embossing folders the base plate, the embossing folder, and a top plate. So let's do what Sizzix says. Let's do it as if we were using their 3D embossing folder. So I've got my base plate, just like they told me. I've got my embossing folder, and then just one clear plate or cut plate over the top. It doesn't make a difference if you use a cut plate, a do not cut plate, and let's send it on through. Now I can tell you, can you see that roll? Can you see how that's not even, I mean, it's not even doing anything. I might even be able to move it along just with my hands. There is no pressure in here whatsoever. That's because this is not a Sizzix 3D embossing folder. Yep, I got nothing. This is a Creative Expressions 3D embossing folder. So I've tried it the Sizzix way as if it was as thick as a Sizzix embossing folder, and it's not. So now I need to add something to my platform. It could be a couple pieces of paper, it could be a piece of chipboard, but Sizzix does have their solo shim that comes with your machine. So I'm just going to add that solo shim right on, and I'm going to hope that either it's going to tell me right away if it's too thick, it won't go through. If it's too thin, I'll get what I already had, which is nothing. And I will tell you the easiest way to roll these folders through is to not have the folded side going in first. It's easier to do them if you have the chomp, chomp, chomp side. See, this is the chomp, 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 chomp. So you want the chomp, chomp, chomp side to go first because it's hungry, right? So your embossing folder is hungry, chomp, 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 and that's the side you want to be fed into first to the machine. It will roll through easier if you do the chomp, chomp, chomp side first. Now I've got my platform, I have got my solo shim, I have got my embossing folder with just a piece of white paper inside. I put it right on top, and I'm going to continue with just one cut plate or a do not cut plate, whatever plate you've got handy. And I'm going to send it on through. And let's see what I get. Oh, see? Definitely more tension. Absolutely. Yep, I think this feels pretty good. And we're gonna move it on over and let's see what we've got. And just like that, I went from plain paper to beautifully textured. Look at the depth. Look at the depth of the design. That is what a 3D embossing folder should look like. When you get a shadow off the paper because the height of the embossing is high enough to cast a shadow, oh yeah, you know you did good. Well done. So I have got a 3D embossing, easy peasy, mac and cheesy. I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna put it right over there, and I'm gonna roll this through one more time. Hello, one more time. So I'm just gonna do a wash, rinse, and repeat. And again, see, I don't want this side going first. I want the chomp, chomp, chomp side. Because it's hungry, it wants to eat first. Put my paper in. Put on my clear plate. Bring over my machine. And let's send it on through. And there we go. So now I've done a wash, rinse, and repeat. Got a little close to the edge there. Oh, did I even go off the edge? Wow, it's close. But I do have a beautiful embossing. Now I'm gonna take my stencils. And we're gonna play with the stencils a little bit. These are Creative Expressions stencils. They are made to go with the embossing folder. You don't have to have them to use the embossing folder, but it is very nice if you do. It just gives a beautiful finished look to everything. So again, now this is a new venture for Creative Expressions. They've not done stencils with embossing folders or anything like that. So we need to be a little bit forgiving on these. There's no etching telling you which way is up. There's no little etched arrow that says this way up and this way out. So I talked to them about that too, and they're going to work on it, which means you kind of have to decide. There's 4 ways this stencil can go. It can go this way, it can go this way, it can go that way, and it can go this way. That is the extent of how your stencil can move. It can go here, it can go here, it can go here, or it can go there. One of those 4 ways is going to line up. It's just a matter of finding it. There we go. And if this didn't line up, if I was doing it this way, and I can't figure out why it's not lining up, well, then I might turn it this way. And if it's still not lining up, then I might turn it this way. And then bam, just like that, it lines itself up. So I've talked to Creative Expressions, and again, this is new for them. So remember when I first did my stencils, I didn't have those little tabs on them? Nope. I did that after I did one round of stencils, and I'm like, okay, I need to change this. I learned, and they will learn and evolve, and it will get better. So washi tape down. A little bit up at the top, a little bit at the bottom, and then some at the side. So there's also no registration lines here. No easy way to register so that our second stencil will line up right on top of it. So I'm gonna make my own registration lines. I'm gonna make it happen myself. In fact, I think I might just move this up just a little bit. That might be better. Okay, so I'm taped down, and really what I care about is the stencil being taped to my paper. I'm not so worried about my stencil being taped to my craft mat. That's not the big issue. And I'm gonna grab my red ink. Here we go, red. Now this is a blending mat, and this is half the size that, half the size that it normally is. This is by Woodware. I cut mine in half. I have 2 of them, and they call it a blending mat because that's what you do. You blend your inks on it. It makes things easy, and it saves your inks. I used to take this ink, and I would go right here, or I would take my brush and go brush right into it, dab, dab, dab. And then I would have a spare piece of paper somewhere. Oh, I hate to use that one. I would have a spare piece of paper somewhere. Then I would tap my ink off a little bit, and then I would go in and blend because I didn't want it too dark. I wanted to build my color up. Now I have this little blending tool here, this little blending mat, and it's under $5. And see, I can put all my ink there, and now I can dab into it and kind of take some off, but I'm going to be able to go back in there and pull all of this ink up and not waste any ink. And I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to put a light coat. So anywhere that I see paper, I know it needs to be red. I see white paper underneath, I know it needs to be red. Now I've done a very simple little light coat there. It's almost a baby pink, and I always start out light. It's easier to add color than to take color away. So now that I've got a good base of color, now I can come back and still just with my one color, see, I'm picking it up a little harder. Now I can come back and add some color. So I'm kind of staying away from the center of my stencil because I want that to have more of a highlight to it. And I'm coming in towards the ends of my petals and darkening them up. And can you see how I just continually am pulling this ink up? Best thing, one of the best things I ever purchased was this little blending mat thing for $5. I'm like, where have you been my entire crafty life? Because this makes my job a whole lot easier. Now, can you see that I've started to have a highlight and I've got a mid-tone? Now, if I want to add a little bit more ink, I can go in there and really make those tops a little darker. And the darker I make the tops of my poinsettia at the ends of my petals, the more highlight this is going to look. And I'm just going to pick all of that ink up. Okay, I think that's good. So I do need to do a registration. And a registration is going to help me line up the next stencil. I'm going to take a little bit of my red ink and I'm just going to ink this line down here. Because my next stencil, I should be able to line up with this line down here. And it should then layer right on top of everything perfectly. So let's pull this up. And you can see what I've got going on. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I love it. And now I bring my next stencil over. So my blending brushes are by Couture Creation. They don't have some snazzy color on the handle to designate what color ink it's supposed to be for. At the recommendation of somebody on our live chat, they said use hair ties. So I went and got colored hair ties and wrapped them around. But what I love about theirs is theirs have little hats. Look at little hats to cover the bristles of your blending brush. I'm happy to forego having this a red handle and this one a purple handle and this one a pink handle. I'm happy to forego that to get the little hats. And I want to say they're about $5 a brush. So now I have my next stencil. And again, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways of using it. That's your only option. So I'm going to line up my bottom and I'm lining it up to, kind of trying to line it up here to figure out, so I started here and that didn't work at all. Lined it up towards the bottom, that didn't work at all. And then I could have tried it this way, and that certainly didn't work. And then I could have tried it that way, and that certainly didn't work. And my last option was flipping it around, and bam. Having that little edge down there just gives me a place to start. It allows me to kind of line, even though, see, it's not perfect. I don't have it lined over yet. I at least know I'm in the ballpark. Here I know I'm nowhere near the ballpark, but here, lining it up on that edge, oh yeah, I'm pretty much right there. So then I can turn it around and finagle it to be closer. think that's pretty good. I think I'm going to try that, and we're going to give it a whirl, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to give that a whirl. We're just going to go for it. It's only, nope, I can see I'm a little bit off there. So maybe just a little bit up and a little bit over. I should be close to being on that line. All right, well, we're going to go for it. So let's tape it on down. So I've lined up to that bottom registration. Now, I don't know if anybody from Creative Expressions is watching, but can you understand why registration lines are needed, or at least something that says 1, something that tells us it's this way up, a little arrow just etched in. I'm going to put one down here. And then I'm going to go there. And I'm going to go here. Oh, I was right. I was really close to being off of it. All right. Now this is all going to be done in greens. So I'm going to grab my green ink. And again, I'm going to start with a light green. Maybe I can just move this a little bit over. There, that way we get a little bit more of that in there, you think? Okay, so I'm going to put my light green on here. I've got my blending brush. And I'm just going to come in here and kind of get my color down. And anywhere I see white paper, I know I need green. And I'm not trying to go too hard. I'm just trying to add a base of a color just to get started. So for those of you who have never seen embossing folders before, this is what they've evolved to. We have an embossing folder, and now we have a stencil that allows us to go in there and color the detail of the embossing folder without really having to work too hard at it. It used to be a little bit of a chore to go in there. All right, I think I've got pretty good all over coverage. Now it's up to me, how deep of a color do I want to go? Do I want to stay with my green here and just keep going darker like I did with my red? Because then I can pick up more color and bring it in where I want it. Now that I've got a base to act as my highlight, I can pick up more color and bring it in. Or I can change my color. Now this may be a big mistake, but it's only white paper. That's the only thing we've used so far. Here's a darker green. It's a pine green. Yikes. So I'm still using my green brush because I only change it for the color family. I don't have one of these for every shade of green that I have. I have a brush for every color family. And you can see I'm really tapping it off because I want to be ginger with how much of this green I use until I know if it's a yay or a nay. And I'm not going over everything. I'm using this as an accent to give some definition to all of my foliage here. I'm just trying to make a pretty blend here and there, not everywhere. I'm not trying to cover up all that light green that I did, because it's that light green that's the contrast to this dark green that gives that three-dimensional effect between the height of the embossing folder and the detail you get from it, and then the right color inks with a little bit of shadow and a little bit of shading. At no time at all, it looks like you are a rock star. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, I like it. I do. So you've got some blends going on there, and I was able to color it seamlessly. Right? Beautiful and easy. This is easy. Then we trim it on out. You're like, uh-oh, here she comes with them scissors again and not the trimmer. I know. So if you recall, does that need a little bit more? No, I think that's okay. If you recall, we started with paper that looked like this. Well, actually, in reality, we started with paper that looked like this. And then we turned it into paper that looked like this. And then we turned it into paper that looks like this. It's beautiful and it's easy. And I used three different colored inks. The red was all done out of one ink pad, and I probably could have gotten away with the same thing with the green, but I added a little darker to it just for a good sake. Now let's move to the next one. I'm gonna put those there. I'm trying to keep everything in order. That way, if I want to come back to it, I should have said my New Year's resolution was to keep things in order on my desk, but yeah, that would have been a cookie crumb resolution. Easily made and easily broken. What, a cookie crumb pie crust, easily made and easily broken? Okay, so here's one. Yay. Let's move to something a little different. So again, I have a beautiful, the embossing folder looks like this. There it is, the embossing folder and the stencil. Now, you may look at this and go, it looks okay. It's called Nature's Christmas. You may have passed this up in the store. You may have. I want to show you how beautiful it is, and we're going to take it one step further than what we did with this one. Are you ready? So I have to start with my embossing again. So I have to cut another piece of paper, and I have to get that embossing started. That's step one. Okay, so I have to figure out which is my top and which is my bottom. This is the side that is raised up, and this is the side where everything's recessed in. So it's the recessed inside that is your face up side. I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape and I'm going to mark it. I don't need to write on it. I just need to put a little piece of washi tape to tell me this way up. I think if I do that enough on every single embossing folder from Creative Expressions, I think I can probably I think if I do it again and again and again, I might be able to get them into going ahead and putting a registration mark on the front. Wish me luck. Hi, Lizanne. This is where manufacturers love me and not so much. They're like, oh, look at, she's doing such pretty things with our product. And then like, did she really just say that? Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Maybe a little guilting into them to just index. I know it's an extra step. I get it. Just do it. It makes things easier for everybody. All right, so I'm gonna put my embossing folder there. I know I've got my right side up. I'm positive of that. And then I'm going to bring over my Big Shot machine again. I've got my base platform. I've got my solo shim because this is not as thick as a Sizzix embossing folder. I've got my chomp, chomp, chomp side going in first. Remember, your embossing folder's hungry. He wants to eat first. So going in first, I do not have a clear plate down. If I put a clear plate down and then I put this on there and then I put another plate over the top like we normally do, your machine is going to say, I'm full, that's too much, too big, can't take it. There is no way this is ever going to fit. It just won't. So you know you've got your sandwich wrong. So start backing things out. So here I've got my base platform, I've got my solo shim, I've got my embossing folder saying I'm hungry, chomp, 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 and then my clear plate over the top. And let's see how that works. And bam. So you can see it's still not a difficult roll. And here we go. So there it is in white. I'm going to do a wash, rinse, and repeat just so we have the same thing like we had last time. That way you can see the difference. Roll, roll, roll. And I am good. Now let's bring over the stencil. So no longer need my platforms. I've got my stencil, and because I've got the extra space down here, even if my stencil is upside down or my embossing folder is upside down, I'm gonna be okay with that. It doesn't matter that I stencil it this way or this way. I just want this to be, because I've got empty white space there, I want that to be where I can put my registration mark. So now I'm gonna start to kind of figure out, where does this belong? It doesn't go this way. I can tell you that right now. Maybe we'll start with the poinsettias. Maybe that's an easier. Oh, well, that was too easy. I nailed it on the first try. Let's pretend I'm going to try it with the poinsettias and put this on and see if I can line it up. And I'm like, yep, nope, that's not lining up on any of the poinsettias. So then I could do it this way and see. And again, that's not lining up on anything. And then I could do it this way and nope, that's not lining up. And the last way I can go is here. And that has lined up perfectly. So I don't know if you want to make a little mark on your stencil, or if you're happy knowing you only have 4 options on getting the stencil lined up. There's only 4 ways it can go. As long as you keep that in mind, It should make doing stenciling a little, that isn't marked, a little less challenging. It's only got four ways it can go. Up, reverse, flip it over, up, reverse. One of those four is going to have to work. Don't be afraid of the stencil. Don't be afraid of the unmarked stencil. Okay, so there we go. No, I guess I should put that across the top. And just want to make sure that I was lined up. Make sure I didn't move it. Yeah, see, I moved it. Don't move it, Stacy. It kind of clicks in when you've got it. I'm going to say, I've got it. Yeah, babe. No, I can't sing it. I'll get in trouble. Yeah, baby. She's got it. I'm going to put a little piece all the way down. Can I move it up just a little bit for you? And a little piece all the way down just as a registration. And now, what color do we want to do these? Maybe we do these instead of, maybe we'll do them in like a raspberry color. So bring over my little mat and I think I'll do a little bit of raspberry. So for raspberry, I'm going to use my pink. And again, I'm just going to use one color. And I'm just going to get a light color down there. And all the places I see little holes, I know I need to run my stencil, my ink over to stencil it in. Okay, so I've got a little bit going on. Nothing too heavy, nothing too much. And now I can go in and I can start adding more color. And because I'm using the same color, you know it's going to blend beautifully. I'm trying, you could do it heavy enough that everything is the same color all the way through. I'm trying to have a little bit of highs and some lows. I'm trying to add a little bit more dimension maybe to my finished project. But if you wanted it all the same color, you could just go through here and do all of them the same tone, put enough down so that you have a solid tone as opposed to having lights and darks. It really is what works best for you, and maybe in the beginning that's how you start. But I really like having different colors going on, different shades of the same color. It makes it more realistic and it gives the paper more life, because we are working on a flat piece of paper and we're trying to make you forget it's a flat piece of paper. By adding that shading into it, we're trying to, and adding that 3D embossing folder, which gives the paper some height, we're trying to make you forget that we started with something flat. We're trying to trick your eye into thinking that it's more than a half a sheet of 80-pound white cardstock. Okay, so I've got it pretty colored. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. And again, I'm going to get some of those tips really dark. And I haven't used anything but one color ink so far. Okay, I've left some places almost white. Let's peel up and off. This is where we're at. Now, oh, Stacy, I forgot to do my indexing. Darn it. Okay, I'm gonna line them back up. That looks pretty good, pretty close. And I'm gonna get some pink down here. I should start that before I do anything. I should do my indexing before I even start to stencil. Okay, better. Now I can take my next stencil. And we can just pop this right off. And again, only so many options to choose from. So now I start laying it going, nope. I find my line, my registration line, and I kind of line that up. And I say, yeah, that's not gonna work. And then maybe I go this way, kind of line it up in that, still doesn't look right. And then maybe I flip it, and then I go, ha, that's looking so much better. Having that line down there as you're gauged where to start lining things up really makes a difference. Look at that, that's like perfect. Really? No, it couldn't have been that simple. Really? Really? I'm afraid to mess with a good thing. I'm not. I'm going to be happy. So a lot of in and out today. I wonder if they have like a little remote for my camera where I could just do a... I'm going to Google that and see if there's a little remote that I could remote it in and out. Ooh, that would make me super high tech. Okay, I'm gonna bring my green ink back. And I've got my little green palette right there. And I'm gonna give a nice light coat of green. Look at how gentle I'm going over this. Just a nice light coat of green. Look at how easy peasy and how nice and gentle I'm being, like a nice little back massage. This is the first time I'm picking up more ink. Nice little back massage, not trying to press too hard. Not trying to get too much saturation going. Okay. So I've got a nice little coat of green going on. Now I can go back in, and I'm just going to use the same green. I can go back in and try and add a little bit of color. Ooh, did you see that? Let me go in. See, this is where that remote would be super handy. Did you see that? Look at, I added that color, a little bit darker there. a little bit darker. I don't want to go everywhere a little bit darker, just here and there. Because I'm not trying to do a all over color the same where it just looks like blocks of color. I go a little darker here and a little darker there. It's really on these pines that I'm trying to add some more color to. And I don't mind if some of them look really, really light. That's what forces your eye into those darker colors. That's what makes that red or that cranberry that I've used really pop. Should we see if that's enough? I can always place it back, line it back up if I want to add more color. Now, let's go back. This is what the packaging looks like. And this pretty much is what they've done is a solid color for the reds and a solid color for the greens. And you could do that, but I think that this looks a little bit nicer. You may disagree with me, and that's okay. Everybody has their own taste. But I do think that that might be just a little bit prettier, maybe a little bit softer. This is very red and very green. But maybe, I think that looks beautiful. But we're not done with this one. You're not? No. We're gonna take this and we're gonna pull luster wax. Now, if you don't know what luster wax is a product from Sizzix. It's been around for a while. They had started with a gold, a silver, and a rose gold copper, because that's what it really is. Okay, so let me just tilt up for just a minute. So Sizzix came out with luster wax, gosh, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We've had it for quite a while, maybe more than that. So they came out with luster wax, which is a true wax-based product. It's almost like a furniture polish. It is meant to go on wood and glass and plastic and metal and leather and fabric and paper and, okay, you get the idea. And so they came out with 3 colors originally, which was the gold, the silver, and the rose gold, but it's more copper than anything else. Then they started to expand the line and they came out with I think the rainbow might have come out after all of that. And then finally a charcoal and an ivory. I can't tell if my face is red, but the lights are on me. So I don't have really expensive lighting to make sure that I don't go all red. But if my face is red, I'm fine. It's just hot in here. Or maybe I've got red ink all over my hands, all over my face now. Oh well, I'm crafting. I'm okay with it. So they came out with these colors, and then they came to me and said, gosh, if you could have any other color, what would you have? And I'm like, one? I can't just have one color. Oh, no, no, no. That will never do for Scrapbooking Made Simple. We want a whole range of colors. And they're like, of course you do. So I picked out the next 7 colors and we launched them earlier this year, and they are wonderful. There is a pink and a teal and a blue and a purple and a yellow, not a gold, a yellow and a red and a green. And thankfully they are exclusive here for just a little bit longer. And I think when you see what they do to these embossing folders and these stencils and how easy it is to make it happen, you're going to love them. Many of you already own this product. Get it out. If you are doing 3D embossing folders, get the luster wax out. Free it from the storage you've put it in. Put it on your crafty table and leave it there, because it can be used for so many different things. And like I said, I think most of you already own this. So this is getting product out that you already have purchased, whether from us or from one of the, well, not the 7 colors, those are only available here, but the other colors, perhaps at your local independent retailer or a big store, who knows where you got it. Get it out. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Are you ready? It's beautiful and it's simple. So if this is your first time crafting and you're already going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this is going to take it to a whole nother level, and it is not hard to do. Do you have a finger? If you've got a finger, you can do this. I'm gonna grab the green. So the green luster wax is new. It's got kind of a goldy hue to it. If I were a piece of paper, do you use your finger all the time? No, most of the time I never use my finger. But it's got a beautiful sheen to it. Do you see? That's what luster wax is. And it is not a water-based product. It is a wax-based product. And it dries almost instantaneously. But to get it off your hands, I can use a wet wipey. If I leave it on my hands, it's gonna stain my fingers for a little bit, but I'll wash my hair or the dishes. Look at how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna take that luster wax and I'm going to go straight over the top of some of my green. With my finger, I'm not using one of my daubers, I'm using my finger. And I'm just going to hit it. I'm not trying to color, I'm trying to hit the tops. Could you use a finger dauber? Probably. I'm just trying to hit the tops so that then, oh, see? And look at how easy is that, right? Just over the top. And it's going to dry with that beautiful luster color. It's got kind of that gold built into the green. So my sheen, it adds a darker color over the top. It accentuates, it adds that gold prettiness coming off of it. So when people are looking at your card, it's like winking at them as they move it because you've got this luster color coming off of it. Now I think I'm just gonna do the pines and let everything else stay the way it is. So lovely and so easy to do. Every time you have a 3D embossing folder out, a little bit of luster wax is just going to add a little something something to it. Now, could I do my poinsettias? I could. Now, I've done them kind of pinky, so I think I'm gonna take the pink. If I do them, I'm gonna do them in the pink, not the red, because I've done them in a pinky color. So let's get the green off my finger, shall we? Okay. Let's see what we get. I'm either gonna destroy it or it's gonna be fabulous. And again, I'm not trying to do the whole poinsettia. I'm just trying to add just a little bit of sheen. Ooh. Okay, I think I'm digging on that. All right, so now I've got a little sheen going on my poinsettia. I kind of like it. These poinsettias have nothing, and these poinsettias are winking at you. I like poinsettias that say, hello, look at me, but they're not glittery, and I'm using very little. And I'm starting in the middle and just adding a little bit and kind of blending it out towards the outside. Hello, look at me. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes my heart happy. So we started with something that looked like this. And we took it to something that looks like that. Let's trim it out. So the one thing about luster wax is that, well, it's gonna last you a really long time, depending on how much you use it. Now, if you have a friend who's into 3D printing, you may want to get them some luster wax for Christmas because it covers your 3D printing and it will change anything into a beautiful, beautiful gold. I have friends, they moved to Canada, Lisa and Bruce. They had a 3D printer. They printed me off some Mickey stuff. And I took that gold luster wax and I made myself some beautiful. Look at how pretty that is. I think it's a world of difference. Even if it's not your favorite, I think it's a world of difference than perhaps the packaging gives it credit for. Look at how pretty that is. Ooh. What if we added a little red? Do I dare? Do I dare? I don't know. All right, no guts, no glory, right? I can always redo this. So this is the first one that I did, and all I did was the inking. But what if I took a little bit of my red? Oh yeah, you see the shimmer? Okay, let's do the whole thing. Now that I've committed, let's just commit. And I think I'm going to bring it down even a little bit further, just so then those veins really stand out. So I'm going like this after I take it out of the jar, just so I make sure I don't have like a little glob of it. Okay, this is beautiful. And it's not too much. It's not glitter. It's shimmer. It's luster. Oh, it's shimmer. Oh, I got it on my fingers. Daisy, don't do that. I got it on my fingers. just a little bit. Do we dare do do we dare do the leaves? See, it's gonna stain my finger a little bit. That's okay. I'll wash my hair. I have a better chance of washing my hair than doing the dishes. And just a little bit. Just a little bit on some of my leaves. Some of my holly. Look at on the holly. On my poinsettia. So this changes it. This changes the game again. It ups it one more time. So now you can certainly use an embossing folder on white paper and do a tone on tone, a white on white on white card. They're beautiful. You can also just ink your card. But now you can ink, and with just a little bit of these new colors of luster wax, you're changing the entire element of the card. Just a little bit of luster. Who doesn't need a little luster in their life? I think that's enough as I put more on. That's me for you. All right, I'm going to be done. Oh, but yeah. Yep. Love it. Love it. All right. So let's move to our next thing, shall we? So now we've shown you embossing with just plain white paper. Up to a minute ago, I had shown you embossing with a stencil and inking, but then I had to add some luster to it because I couldn't leave it alone. So now we've got two that have luster wax to it. Let's move on to our third. And we're gonna start to die cut with these, but I think before I do that, I'm gonna do one more technique. Well, I'm not gonna be die cutting with these, but I am gonna pull out the simple and basic. But what if you just have the embossing folder? Is that gonna be big enough? This is the Shimmering Snowflakes. And I will use the stencil at some point. Okay, let's see. So I need to figure out what's my top side, what's my bottom. This is raised up, this is recessed in. That tells me that this is my top. I'm gonna go ahead and put a piece of washi tape there so I know. But wouldn't it be just magical if all of a sudden all the creative expressions and folders said creative expressions across the bottom of them? Or if these are Sue Wilson folders, you know, creative expressions Sue Wilson? We're not picky. This way up, top side, we're not picky. Creative expressions, whatever you want to put there, because Stacy said so. That would work too. All right. So bring over my Big Shot machine. I'm gonna chomp, 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 chomp first. So I've got my base platform, I've got my solo shim, I've got my chomp, chomp, chomp. And send it on through. No, stop, wait. It started to emboss. We're gonna change of plans. You're like, change of plans midway through? Yeah, creativity in the making. What if I took and I took some of my luster wax. This is the magenta, yeah? The magenta. I've got my little pink dauber. I'm not going to use my fingers this time. And I come in and I lay some color down. So I'm going straight into my luster wax, coming out, going straight onto my paper. And I'm not trying to get it perfect. I'm just trying to lay some color down. Now this is the same sponge I've been using since I opened these. So because it is a wax-based product, your sponge doesn't get hard and crusty. You can use it. I never actually take these off. Some people will pull these off and leave them in the luster wax. It's up to you. All right, I think I got enough pink going on. I might come back and add a little bit more. And then what if I add a little bit of, let's see what the purple looks like. Maybe just a little bit of purple going on. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. Got a little bit of pink, a little bit of purple. Now how about a little bit of teal? Okay, can you tell I like the teal? They call it, this is turquoise. So a little bit of turquoise over the top, a little, I mean, it looks kind of like a hot mess, right? A little bit like a hot mess, and maybe I even bring some of my pink back and do a little bit more pink. Teal. Okay, no clue if this is going to work, but right now all I've used is white paper. Kind of looks like a hot mess, right? Now let's emboss it. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, dry. Now let's emboss it and see what happens. At least dry enough to emboss. Let's put it on in. I know that I've got it upright because I've got my little, hey, this way up, creative expressions. I'm gonna chomp, chomp, chomp it through my machine. I can just hear my friend Kim, honorary SMS girl Kim. She is the manufacturer's rep for some of these companies. She's like, I'm gonna hear chomp, chomp, chomp for forever. Yep, chomp, 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 because my embossing folder is hungry. So it wants to go in there first. It's easier to get it through if you do that. My base platform, my solo shim, my embossing folder. So it is not the same sandwich as what shows on your base plate because this isn't a Sizzix embossing folder. And send it on through. Yay. Okay. Okay, so now I've got my embossing going on, right? Pretty. A little bit transferred, not too much. How am I going to get that off? I would take a magic eraser. I don't know if it's still wet enough for me to get it off with my wet wipe. Not so much. Maybe a little bit of a magic eraser in there, because again, remember, this is meant to, I could paint this whole thing in luster wax and it would stay that color. Will it hurt my other papers if I don't get it out? No, eventually it's just gonna dry and that'll be that. So let's see, let's put that there. Let's put these here. So now I've got my embossing folder on my luster wax made paper. And then let's grab that blue. Hello, blue, aren't you pretty? And my finger. And let's just gently go over the tops of my so they start to come up. So you start to see them. And maybe a little heavier in my blue. Oh, that's a difference. Can you see the difference there by adding the luster wax to it? All of a sudden that snowflake starts to pop. So I'm not using the stencil, and if I get a little bit of blue outside right on my paper, no problem. I just blend that into the luster wax that's already on my paper. So my finger's a little easier to use than a blending tool. A blending tool might get too much everywhere. My finger lets me just hit the tops of everything. And if I get it kind of all over, I just blend it into the paper. Oopsie, way too much. Way too much, so I'm going to blend that right out. There are no mistakes here because you just blend that luster wax into the paper. And what if I came back? See, I've got probably way too much on my finger. What if I came back and I added some teal? So I've got my snowflakes started. And what if I come back in and I add some of that pretty teal over the top of the blue? Oh. Oh. That's so beautiful. A little bit of this turquoise. Are you getting what I'm laying down? And I didn't use the stencil. I'm just using my finger. And anywhere that it gets on the background of my paper, I just kind of blend it into the paper. Because remember, I used this color on the paper. Gosh, is that pretty? That color's magnificent. These colors look, they're just beautiful together. And then I trim it out and make something with it. So let's cut away all the white noise. A little bit up here. I got to put a little bit more on. A little bit more up there. And then maybe just a little bit of that teal to finish it off. Turquoise. And I've created a beautiful background. And I did it on white paper. You would never know that's white paper. Wow. Okay, now we're gonna die cut. I just had to do that with the luster wax to see how it would look. Love luster wax. Okay, so time to die cut for a little bit. Are you ready? First die I'm gonna play with is here. This is by Simple and Basic. It is they call it a bag. I call it more of an envelope pocket. It will fit through your Sizzix Big Shot machine, your Switch machine, your Gemini, your Platinum 6. It will not fit through a Cuttlebug. Nope, 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 can't go there with a Cuttlebug. So sorry. So let's open it up. And I think for demonstration's sake, I'm going to grab 2 pieces of paper just so we have some paper that is kind of a contrast. I have a dark blue. And how about a green? That should keep it easy. Well, that almost looks like black, but that's fine. That should keep it easy. That way when I cut it, you can see the different sides. So 2 pieces, that's all it is 2 pieces. Easy to do. Doesn't matter which one you cut first. This is Sizzix A4 paper. Hunky Dory is A4 paper. Lots of companies are A4 paper, so you're going to be able to get 1 out of every sheet of paper that you have. So you should be able to also get it out of an 8.5 by 11 without any problem. So 1 per sheet of paper. So I'm just gonna cut me a nice hunk of this. And I'll do the same. I always cut for the large one because then I know I have plenty of room for the smaller one. Okay. So I think I will do the front maybe in the blue. I'll do the front in the blue. So this is a pretty easy die to work with. It is an open frame die, which means it's not intricate at all. I can stick my hand right through it. So there's no core die here. There's no intricate pieces that would require a precision base plate at all. So no precision base plate with this die. To use it, I'm going to bring over my Sizzix Big Shot machine, and I'm going to keep with my base platform. I'm going to keep with my solo shim. This time I do need to use a cut plate and a do not cut plate. So I've got my paper there, my die here. I'm doing it on solid core paper, so if I do a little twist, it'll keep it from going a thunk. And then a do not cut plate. And a do not cut plate is just a cutting plate that you put aside, you set aside, so that you try not to cut into it too frequently. You try to keep the warpage of this plate down. It just helps sending things through your Big Shot machine, or any die cutting machine for that matter, a little bit easier. Eventually, your plates will start to warp. It's inevitable. Every time you cut into a plate, it puts a little V into it and it starts to warp. Small, microscopic little V, little cuts into that, but eventually it will start to warp. So a do not cut plate just lets you send it through your machine a little bit easier. It should be a one cut die. I mean, you shouldn't have to rotate or flip. If you decide you want to pull it backwards, you absolutely can. Did I go all the way through? There. You can bring it back if you want, or you don't have to, because this isn't an intricate die. So I've got the front of it. I've got score lines on 3 sides, and the score lines are very easy to see. So I'm just going to fold it in, scores itself, fold it in, scores itself, and fold it in. So now if you wanted to use this all by itself, you've got this cute little, it's got a cute little scallop top. I mean, you could tape that down to here and make yourself a really big pocket if you're at school, if you're doing something for the kids and you need the kids to have a nice little pocket to put things in with a big background around it. This is an easy way to go. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the second die. Assuming I know where, oh, let's put this one away. And let's pull my second die, which is the backing. And I'm going to do this one out of the green. And again, super easy. Easy cut. And put it at a little bit of an angle. No problem getting through almost any major die cutting system with the exception of a Cuttlebug. I'm not even going to bother to bring it back. And there we go. All my little pieces. Now this doesn't have any score lines to it. It's not meant to. This becomes the back to your front piece. So here are my back tabs, and this is going to lay right on top of it, sealing it up, making this darling little pocket. So let's grab some tape. I'm using 1/4 inch Stacy tape. Stacy tape is a double-sided adhesive. It's long, it's strong, it's cost-effective. It will hold just about everything from beads and glitter and plastics to fabrics if you have to do a quick hem on something. Paper's easy peasy, and my Stacy tape is super affordable. I've had Stacy tape for years, and it is always a winner winner chicken dinner. Is it the only game in town? No. Scorpal, their Sukwang tape. I call it Sukwang because if you look at the name, it has Sukwang, Sukwang, Sukwang going all the way across it. Elizabeth Crafts has great tape, but those are the only 3, mine, Scorpal, and Elizabeth Crafts, that I can recommend. Tape from the dollar store, you get what you buy, and when you're talking about adhesive, That's not the place to skimp. Okay, so Stacy tape also doesn't have to be, you don't have to cut it. It is rippable. I used to say it's terrible, but because you can tear it. But people would say, no, your tape's not terrible at all. I'm like, well, thank you. So if I pull off the liner, and this is a little bit too long, I've made it a little bit too long, instead of cutting it off, I'm just gonna pull the liner off and I'm gonna wrap it right back onto itself because it is a double-sided tape. So I'm not one to grab the scissors to trim everything out. I'm one to just pull it right back on top of itself and let it be. Okay. Then I line up my bottom. Maybe a little bit lower. I think that looks pretty good. And then finish off my sides. And I've made a cute little pouch, right? Darling. Now, if you want to close it up, what I recommend is that you literally fold, I don't score it, I fold this back right at the same height. You can take a scoreboard. I just go ahead and fold it and do my own scoring. And then fold it forward. And now I've made a little closure if I want. You don't have to have the closure. You can leave it open if you want. It's up to you. But then it fits all these cute little things you can fill it with. It makes the cutest little pocket that you can put hot cocoa in and apple cider in and some little treats in and make the cutest little gifts for the holidays. This is so simple. It was 2 cuts with some extra paper. What extra paper do you have? This is easy peasy. But we wanted to take it to the next level. Of course we did. Why wouldn't we, right? Love this, right? Super easy. We wanted to take it to the next level. So I'm going to use white paper. And let's grab my white paper. And let's cut my bigger die first. And let's put it through. So base platform, solo shim, cut plate, paper, put my die just at a little bit of an angle. If you're using a pattern paper that has stripes, that's not going to work for you. You're going to want to put it in straight in. You might hear a little ka-thump when you do that. But if you're using just a solid piece of paper where you can turn it at a little bit of an angle, I always recommend it. We're going to send it on through. Yeah, see, there's that ka-thump. It didn't hurt the die, but by putting it in straight, parallel to the roller, there's a roller here. By putting the die in straight and parallel to this roller, it has a little bit of a difficult time grabbing that first part of the die. So if you put it at a little bit of an angle, it feeds into the machine a little differently and you avoid that ka-thump. Doesn't hurt the die, doesn't hurt the machine. It sounds bad, I know. So easy peasy. All my little all my little doodads and wahoos to pop out. That's what they're called, doodads and wahoos. Now, can you see the score line? There's a score line here. There's a score line at the bottom. There's a score line over here. Before I do the next step, before I take it to the next level, I want to be sure I do those score lines. I want to be sure that I fold on those score lines. It is super important that this is the first step I take, is folding those score lines. Because the next step I'm going to take is using it with an embossing folder. Well, we'll see if it came clean. So I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to line it on up. And I'm going to put it inside. It's a perfect fit. Okay, so this is where pretty meets practical. Beautiful embossing folders. Beautiful embossing folders with beautiful stencils. Practical dies that you can use all year round. Gift bags for everything, little treat bags for things, this is such a nondescript, perfect die to use year in and year out. But did Creative Expressions talk to Simple and Basic about, hey, why don't we make an embossing folder set that works perfectly with your dies? I am sure that they didn't. But I bet almost any 3D embossing folder that you have with Sizzix, these are they, what size are these? These are 3D embossing folder. Yep, these are 5x7. Sizzix embossing folders are going to be a little bit smaller than this. You might be able to get away with it, but this is a 5x7 3D embossing folder. Hello, beautiful. I'm back to an embossing folder, so I only need one clear plate or cut plate or do not cut plate. I'm going to put my embossing folder. Ooh, but well, it doesn't really matter because, but I am going to do it this way. Yep, see, I needed to change it so that that was facing up. Now we'll see if some of my luster wax transfers. It might. You can see it's still on there. I haven't cleaned it off. I need a little magic eraser to take care of that. But let's try. Worst case that happens is it transfers. Oh yeah, it transferred a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go with it. We're going for it. Now the reason you needed to score first is because once you do that embossing, it is almost impossible to find those score lines. So since I score for, although that's actually very pretty, since I scored first, it's easy. My score lines go right back to where they were. Now, let's take the stencil. If I were the stencil, where would I have put me? Oh, I would have put me right here. Let's take the stencil. We haven't used the stencil yet for this one. And the embossing folder. I'm doing so good at keeping everything in. Elena, you'll be so proud of me. Okay, let's find. This one's gonna be easy because you've got one big one right there. So you know, you gotta line it up with that big one. That looks pretty good. Oh, I'm gonna have to sneeze. Wait, hopefully it's only one. Sometimes it's 14. Oh no. Well, I don't edit, so you get what you get. I'm gonna tape it on down. Sometimes it really is 14 sneezes. So let's just tape it into place. Actually, I'll tape it on the sides. And then over the top. And just line it up. That looks sweet to me. And then what color do we want? How about we do maybe some light pink? Oh, it's got plenty of ink on it. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. So it still had some of that lustery from the luster wax. Didn't have to add any color to that at all. That works. And then maybe some of that, a little bit of that blue. Nope, I'll have to add some of that color. So let's bring over my mat. Kind of going for a wintry look. They are snowflakes after all. So I had a little bit of pink and purple from the luster wax that transferred. So I embraced it. A little bit of the blue. Okay, so stencil number 1 done. Yay! Stencil number 2, let's go. Stencil number 2 is kind of the dots all the way around it. So let's put it back down. And let's remember, there's only so many ways it can be. So let's see if I can. Oh, Stacy, no, shut the front door. Did I really? I really did. Well, I'm not going to jinx myself. I'm going to go with it and say, there goes that handle again. So between the sneezing and now the handling. Ah, no, come back. Okay, stay, please. Let's see. Oh, don't move. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move it up just a little. And I remember this is the right way. Wow. Like like that would ever happen again. All right, I think I'm good there. I'm going to tape it down. And what colors do I want to do it in? Maybe I do it in the dark blue. Let's add a little more tape. Okay. And I think I'm going to go with this, with the kind of tealy blue. And add this final detail to what is now the front of my bag. Oh, what stencils do you have? What embossing folders do you have? You could make this for a birthday. You could make this for Mother's Day. You could make this as a little baby shower gift. You could make this as a bridal shower gift. You could do tea party gifts with these little bags and fill them with some little tea bags and a cute little spoon. You're having a princess party for your little one. These can be princess bags. What do you want them to be? These are wonderful. And the size, it's a real live size. Do I think I have it? Okay, and then, what if I took a little bit? So it's gonna get on my stencil. I'm gonna have to wash my stencil. I got a lot going on there. But what if I just wanted to add a little shimmer over the top of my blue? I'm not worried about it being absolutely everywhere. I just want a little bit of shimmer. Okay. And it has a little bit of shimmer. Now remember, this isn't a card. This is the top of my bag. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then what if, here's my other. What if I die cut this? Okay, let's die cut this. This is the backing of the bag, remember? Gotta have both pieces. Nope, gotta have a cut plate down there. That's not gonna work. Hello, cut plate. Thump. Now, do I want to emboss this too? I don't know if I want to. Do I want to? I could. I mean, I could grab that embossing folder, bring it back over, put it in and emboss the back of my bag too. Do I want to do that, or do I just want to maybe stencil it? What if I just stencil it? So let's bring this over. And without embossing it, can I get the stencil done? Well, this is the, let's get the top and the top. So top. And top. I suppose I could have stenciled it first, and there's my how about right there? And let's do a little bit of pink. I'm just taking what's on my brush. And maybe a little bit of purple if there's some purple left on my brush. And that tealy blue. So now I'm just using the stencil as a stencil. And let's grab that pink again and bring it over. Just kind of blend those colors together. This is the back. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, do you think we can line this one up so that it will work? Somewhere, it's gonna let me do all the lines without hitting any of the snowflakes. It's a matter of how hard am I going to try to find it. Because I don't have the embossing folder for it to kind of click into. I'm not going to try that hard. I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to use that blue again. So I just did my best to line it up. I'm not going to try that hard. If I had embossed it, it would kind of click into place, but because I'm just using the stencil, I'm just going for it. I see that the majority of my snowflakes are, well, I see the majority of my paper is white coming through, and that's really what I'm looking for. I want to see as much white paper coming through as opposed to snowflake color coming through. Oop. I can feel that my brush has got a little bit of that luster wax in it. So I'm going to take a baby wipe and kind of wash my brush a bit. Better. Okay. So then I think I'm going to go back. You're like, how did your brush get luster wax on it? Remember, I put luster wax over the top? I didn't put luster wax on my brush, but I definitely put it over the top. Oh, I still have some here. Ah, see? It's already dried on here. Luster wax is meant to dry on porous, non-porous. So I'll have to add a little bit more. And all I'm trying to do is get a little bit of a sheen to it. Yes. I didn't use the embossing folder at all. And now I can marry them together. Back side, front side, embossed, flat. Let's grab my Stacy tape. So I need to put it on the outside edges. Remember, this is going to fold in, and this is going to tape right to it. So you don't want to put your tape on the inside edge. You want it on the outside edge. I know it seems kind of weird to do that, but that's how we want to get it done. Okay. We'll just put a little across the bottom. You would do a better job taping down than I am. I'm just trying to get it so that I can close it up for you. 1, 2, a little tiny one at the bottom. 3, and now remember, I want that to be my back side. I don't want to tape it here. If I do, I've covered all of that beautiful stenciling up with the pocket. You don't see it. So I'm going to go corner to corner. And then close it on up. Now I did it this way so that I could fold this over the top. So you don't have to. I could then, if I wanted, I could have had a little stencil going on there. Up to you. There's a couple different ways of building this. I'm just gonna fold this back. I'm not gonna take a scoreboard or a trimmer to do it. I'm just gonna freehand it, because right at that edge, it's gonna fold right back. She doesn't use a trimmer. She doesn't use a scoreboard. I know. She goes rogue. But then I can close it if I want. So cute. And then I can put my little goodies in there. Ta-da! Look at how cute is this. Embossed, stenciled. Embossed, stenciled. And remember, this isn't just plain. How you Embellish it once you have it is entirely up to you. Love this. But we have to move on. You're like, wait, more? I know, I told you we were loaded with this one today. I'm gonna go straight to die cutting. This is the cutest little gift card holder ever. It's got a built-in closure. It's got the little pieces to let you slide the gift card, the little corners to slide the gift card in. This one goes side to side, and this one goes top to bottom. So you actually have 4 little notches to hold your gift card. It has layering elements so that you can add different papers and different levels of texture with embellishing to it, but I'm gonna cut the main one for you. And again, perfect for your Big Shot machine. It's perfect for, this one may be able to get through a Cuttlebug. I'm thinking that this is a Cuttlebug doable. In fact, I'm pretty positive this is a Cuttlebug doable. So for your Vagabond, your Switch, your Plus, your Pro, your Fold Away, your Big Kick, your Big Shot, the main die is here. And it does have a cute little dotty element all the way around it just to add a little bit of embellishment to it in case you don't want to use the rest of the little tools. So these will make your mats and your layers. This lets you do little tags. Here, this allows you to put your gift card in place. So I'm gonna cut it out of white paper. Bring our machine over. Nothing has changed with our platform. We're on the same way. I was doing a really good job of keeping everything kind of nice and neat, and I kind of slacked. So this is there. Where's my cute little bag? Anybody see where I put my cute little, I just did the little bag. How could I have lost the bag already? Is that even possible? Craziness, but I guess we'll find it at the end. All right. My table is only 4 feet. How could I lose something in 4 feet? It's not here, right? Nope. Okay, so my platform stays the same. Go ahead and rotate it so you can see. Base platform, solo shim, cut plate. Die. Do not cut plate. Send it on through. Found it. I knew if I just looked long enough I would get it, right? I knew that would happen. Okay, there. Better. Now I'm happy. Do I need to go back? I really don't. It's a pretty simple die, but if you feel like you want to, you can. I'm definitely not going to rotate, and it is not going to need a precision base plate. You've got the cute little handles. So one handle does not come out. Don't think that because this hasn't popped out, it didn't cut properly. It did. Now I have to find my score lines. Now those little dotty elements, I don't know if you can see them, but those little dotty elements are very, very close to the score line. So I'm gonna work for my score line a little bit, especially since I'm on white paper. I don't want to score it on those little dotty elements. So I'm going to work for that score. Okay, score number 1. Now for score number 2. Now if you have a scoreboard, you could make the score lines a little bit easier to see. But I'm a girl who likes to go for it. And then that little handle that doesn't come out also has a score line. And then you put it through and close it up. And you started to make your little, look at your little gift card. Now remember, I said all of these elements here, this one you can die cut out pretty paper and it's going to fit across here. And this one you can die cut out some other pretty paper and it's gonna fit in there. So you can really jazz these up however you want to do it. It's got some tags, and then these two will put the notches. You can either have the 2 there. You can have 2 here that will hold your gift card in place, or you could use all 4 of them. So you're sure your gift card isn't gonna move. You'll cut them out individually. You'll do one, the long one first and the short one second, or vice versa, but it will hold your gift card in place. This is just darling. But of course we have to take it one step further. We do, it's just what we have to do. So I'm gonna bring over the very last embossing folder by Creative Expressions and Sue Wilson. And this is the Christmas trees, or the winter scene, the forest. And I'm gonna grab that embossing folder and we're going to emboss my little cute little gift card holder. Again, Christmas, birthday, holiday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, getting married, just got married, welcome home, welcome to your new home. You can use this for everything. Same here. Welcome home, welcome to your new home, welcome baby, little gift for the baby shower, you know, little party favors for people to take home. These are perfect for all year round. So I've got my embossing folder that has the winter scene. It has the trees. I'm not gonna put my entire die cut in here because I want trees on both sides. So I'm going to find my bottom. Here's my bottom of my embossing folder. And I'm going to find the area of my scoring. So this area right here, the little bottom, the little seat of my gift card holder. And I'm gonna put the bottom of my embossing folder kind of there. And I'm going to emboss an image. I'm not going all the way up because I don't want to get it on this side. You'll see why. Bring over my Big Shot machine. Get rid of one of my cut plates. Oh, I want to go chomp, chomp, chomp. Remember, chomp, chomp, chomp is important. And send it on through. I now have a winter image on the side, on the front side, but I want it on this side too. That is why I did not put the whole thing in there and try to emboss it all at once, because I'd have the trees going in the right direction on one side, but the trees going in the wrong direction on the other. So here, I did this one first, and I kind of lined the bottom of the embossing folder up. Down at the bottom, it's got kind of these little snow drifts. I put those in the little seat of my gift card holder in between my two score lines. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to put the other side and emboss again, only this time I did it on this side over here. The first time, I think I'm gonna grab over here and do this side, and I'm gonna line up that little bottom again. Make sure I've got it kind of straight, that would be helpful. So there's my little bottom. So the one side I did over here, this side I'm gonna do over here, and I'm gonna send it on through. And that means both sides of my little gift card holder, the trees are gonna be going in the right direction. Oh, chomp, chomp, chomp first. Remember, your embossing folder's hungry. You wanna go chomp, chomp, chomp into the machine. You don't want to have the closed end feeding into the machine first. It's harder to get it to take it. It'll still go through, it's just going to take you a little more effort to get that first turn going. All right. Now I have got trees on both sides going in the correct direction. Yay for me, this embossing folder is beautiful. Oh, did it again. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Turn it around. So much easier. This embossing folder is just heaven. You've got the trees coming down, you've got the snow falling. And does it have a stencil? Well, of course it does. Come on. So it has the trees. I know most people want to turn it like this and make it, try and figure it out. This is the sky. It lets you stencil the trees. This is the sky. It's not like this, it's like this. And then again, you've only got 2 ways to put it. So I need to see the trees. And this is pretty easy, which way is the top and which way is the bottom, because one's got trees going way up and one doesn't. So let's tape it on down. And let's grab some ink and my blending, and I've got my greens on this side. Gosh, is that? There, I think that's better. And instant trees. start out kind of light. And then let's go a little bit darker with the pine. And I've got trees. And there's snow up here, which has its own stencil, so that you can come in and line it on up. Yep, I was right the first time. Line it on up. Come on in and put snow falling all down over your trees. It's beautiful stencil, beautiful embossing folder. But I want to take my little gift card bag and stencil that. So I'm going to put it down and I'm going to tape it down. At the sides down here. I don't want to tape it way up here because I'm going to try and stencil all of that. But down here, remember, I'm going to have to flip it because I have my trees in the right direction. Now I just have to figure out where this goes. Looks like it goes. Looks like it goes right there. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to tape it down. So I'm taping it in between the two score lines that I did. I don't really want to tape too much anywhere else because I want to make sure that I get it stenciled. I think that's close. I think I'm going to go for it. And with my green, so I'm going to have a tree line on both sides going in the correct direction. What happens at the bottom? I don't care. I just want that tree line to be on both sides. Okay, one side done. Tree line done. Turn it around, line it back up, and remember when we did this, I moved my stencil a little bit, so this is going to be further over. Yeah, I'm going to say there. Some on here, and let's do this side of my tree line. So front and back have my trees going in the same direction. Easy to do, just don't emboss the entire gift card holder at once. Now, if you're doing something like the snowflakes, it's not going to matter where, if you do it all at once, because the snowflakes aren't directional. But the trees are directional, and I want them to be in the right place. Okay. So I've got my trees in the right place with snow on the ground there. I've got trees in my right, and they're not in the same. Look it's a little different per side. And now I can take my green luster wax and make magic. Now I can pull out that green luster wax with my finger. Oh, see, I'm just lightly, can you see? I don't know if you can see. I'm just lightly putting a little bit of luster wax, hitting the high parts of my tree. Giving my trees some definition. Oh, they look good. And over here, a little bit of luster wax. Just to give it a little bit of definition and a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of shine. And now I've got my tree lined. Oh my gosh, that looks good. I've got my tree lined little gift card holder, and it's lustery. Is that a word? It is now. It's lustery. And of course I could finish it off and put the mats on the inside and put my gift card on the inside, but so pretty. Look at the definition you get. Yikes. So I'm going green on green, and this green just has a little bit of gold in it, so that when you kind of move it around, you see a little bit of that gold iridescence. And this is a true wax-based product that adds so much. With just a little bit of something, it adds so much to it. Now I could take and put all the snow, I could do it with maybe an iridescent luster wax. I could use the iridescent luster wax to do that, but this is beautiful. And I love it on the card holder, the gift card holder. Put Merry Christmas on there. It can be for a guy, it can be for a girl. It's just pretty, and it's different. It's different than everything else. Makes my heart happy. Okay, we certainly did a lot today. We did a ton. We started way back when all we did was have an embossing folder. Now you can use the embossing folder just as an embossing folder, or you can take it with the stencil. And we did that, and then we added some luster wax to it in the 7 new colors that are exclusively here at Scrapbooking Made Simple for just a little while. Look, it winks at you. It does, it's so amazing. Then we moved over to what I thought was, see, I'm not crazy about this picture. I looked at that and I went, I don't know if I would buy that off of that picture. But, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. I think that just changes everything. See, and there's that luster wax on both the poinsettias and on the pine leaves or the sprigs, whatever they are. I just think that this is so much fresher and happier. See, that I would buy. But here it is, plain. Then we moved over to the gift bag, where simple to do, easy to make. You can die cut these again and again. This is an all year type of product. Big. You're like, how big is it? Well, I can fit my whole hand in there. That's how big it is. You can close it if you want to close it. Big. And then we took the snowflake and we did a background out of white paper with the snowflakes. Ooh, and the luster wax. See, I don't know if this shows up on camera, but I'm going to tell you in person, it's magnificent. And then we did the luster wax and the embossing folder and the stencil, and we made our own little gift bag. We stenciled on the back, but we embossed and stenciled on the front. We folded it over so you could close it. We put some little trinkets in there. Yummy. Beautiful. And then we ended with our gift card holder using the forest embossing folder and stencil to add that element to both sides, with the trees going in the right direction no matter what side you look at. Super important. If the pattern that you're doing of your embossing folder, and I could go in there and I could just add some luster wax in there if I wanted to cover all of that. I could go in here and throw some luster wax down. Oh, I probably should have put some green ink first. Yeah, I probably should have put some green ink first, but that's okay. Should have put some green ink first, but that's all right. If the embossing folder that you're doing is directional, and it's important that it face a certain direction, it's not a random all over pattern, then when you're doing this, you're going to do it half at a time. Run half through, then run half through, half at a time. And that way your directional embossing folder is going in the right direction, both sides. If it's an all over pattern, non-directional, you can put the whole thing in there and let it go at once. So we didn't even get into half the stuff I wanted to. There's so many other items in this collection that I didn't even get to play with. I didn't get to play with, this is, you're gonna see samples. This is a beautiful stamp set that you can use on its own. Here's the coordinating die set. The stamps and dies are perfect. You can use the dies on their own. Mix and match, but I didn't get to use it today. There was just too much going on. You're gonna see maybe things that say Happy New Year or Merry Christmas. Here are the dies that did that from Simple and Basic. We have got the tags, great tags, and then the words that fit right into them. We've got Happy Anniversary, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Best Wishes, Good Luck, and Congrats. And they fit in to all of these tags. Didn't get to play with those. Or the Christmas stamps. A very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, ho, ho, ho. Oh, a very Merry Christmas to you and yours, joy to the world, to Santa's favorite, ho, 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 you're on the nice list, jingle all the way. Season's greetings, believe in the magic of Christmas. So I didn't even get to play with any of these. They're on sale, and I wouldn't pass them up if you have an opportunity, because we only have so many of them. They're coming in internationally, and we can only bring in so many. Hobby Gross is out of Denmark, and I ordered what we could order, and that's what we've got. But what we did play with from Simple and Basic, Hobby Gross is the distributor in Denmark. We played with the beautiful bag, love the bag, and we played with the gift card holder, love the gift card holder. These are the two that really are amazing, and you'll use them again and again and again. They are a practical item to have in your crafty stash. And then for the pretty, well, the pretty is the embossing folders and the stencils from Creative Expressions. I told you, when pretty and practical, they collided, they made magic. And I did each one of these for you, so you saw all 4 different styles. All 4 different styles. Now we have the embossing folders being sold by themselves. We don't have the stencils being sold by themselves. It's either the embossing folder and the stencil, or just the embossing folder. We leave it up to you. The I Want It All bundle is for all the embossing folders and all the stencils. On the Simple and Basic, we don't have much of anything to do an I Want It All for. We just don't have enough of any grouping of items to do an I Want It All for. Some of them we have less than 30 of. So the Simple and Basic, that is open stock. You buy what you love what you buy, and maybe you don't need all of it, but boy, you got some really great ideas today, and you learned a few things. I also want to tell you that quite a few of the samples were made using the new Simple and Basic paper. You know it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, you know the Simple and Basic paper is beautiful. So we have the 3 new packs. So all of that will be on sale for you. The luster wax will be on sale for you. If this is not in your crafty stash yet, I just recommend, even if you have to do it 1 jar at a time, you will not be disappointed with this product. Use it with your fingers, use it with a dauber, use it with a blender, whatever makes your heart happy for whatever project you're doing. It will change. It will change the look and take it to a whole new level with literally a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some of this, and a hair bit of there. You can do this. It's beautiful. All right, let me show you samples. So we have the embossing. So this is, here they did the seal on the back. Look at, see here, they did it backwards. I've been doing it like this. They did it the opposite way, where it closes in the back. Whatever makes your heart happy, you have options. Look at how beautiful is this. Isn't that just gorgeous? That is the Simple and Basic. Do they have a name for it? I don't know what color they're calling it, but it's this paper and it's yummy. Make a little bag. Here you go. So the embossing folder, the stencil, a little bit of luster wax, and look at how beautiful is this. Isn't that gorgeous on the craft paper? Ready to hold whatever you want to put in it. Isn't that beautiful on the craft paper? It looks so good. A few little blings inside. Oh, it looks so good. Happy New Year. Here's the Happy New Year. That's kind of hard to find. Again, with this, the paper that I just showed you from Simple and Basic, and the Happy New Year die. Look at here. best wishes. There's the little tag with the best wishes. I don't want to open it, but I'm supposed to. But do I have to? Oh, I feel so guilty opening this. So again, this is some of the paper, one of the paper pads from, very masculine. I like it, very masculine, from Simple and Basic. And there you have, look at, oh, and an SMS gift card. Okay. So cute with the little tag, best wishes. We have Merry Christmas. Here's that stamp set, and then they've die cut out one of the snowflakes and popped it on. And here's Merry Christmas, but Merry Christmas, I believe, has a shadow to it as well. But isn't that stamp set beautiful? Here's that stamp set again, only this time we made little ornament, a little tree out of we stamped and die cut. Isn't that cute? And made a little tree out of all the smallest snowflakes. Merry Christmas does have a shadow. Here it is. Merry Christmas. Believe in the magic of Christmas. So the Merry Christmas does have a shadow. Oh, here it is again. Here's that stamp set again with just one of the snowflakes die cut out and a Merry Christmas across the front. Here is Christmas blessings done as a bag. And we've got Swiss Miss going inside. And this is on a pattern paper. I don't know if you can see that. It's on a pattern paper. Here we have Merry Christmas. We've got a few of the little stamp and die cut snowflakes out and the cutest little bag. And this time we have done apple cider. And then, oh no, I'm not done. No, we've got a congrats card made with that really masculine, unusual paper. Look at that. The little tag on the top that says congrats. I think I showed this one in the beginning. That's done with the Simple and Basic paper. Shows you how all four sides can be held in. I think I showed you this one in the beginning. So these are the stamps and the dies, the snowflakes, and then one of the embossing folders. Oh, she has it this way. Okay, this way. And then Merry Christmas on the inside. Here, done with the Simple and Basic paper. These are just so easy. Here we've got the winter scene, the forest scene with the snow falling, the embossing folder, the stencil, and another gift bag with the dark forest scene. The star in the sky. And then we go to a bright little gift bag where they used they didn't use the backing piece, they used two of the fronts and married them together to make a little bag. You have options. So they took two of this to marry them together to make a little bag. The poinsettia with the stencil and the embossing folder. The forest trees with the stamped snowflakes, die cut out, and then just some of the dies cut out of Pretty blue paper. Oh no, it is. Look at it, it's embossed on there. Pretty, pretty, pretty. This is done just with the simple and basic paper. And here, happy anniversary. This is the other simple and basic paper. You've got the happy anniversary tag, simple and basic paper, pretty. And then what do we have over here? Our last ones. Aw, to my friend. Open it up. Merry Christmas, Catherine. My sweet crafty friend. Well, yes, anybody would love a SMS gift card, Catherine. Honorary SMS girl Catherine made this so cute, right? And then I have, oh no, I'm gonna have to pick that one up. Then I have another night scene with some Nestle chocolate in it. Pretty little blings. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Let's pick up the one that fell. Can't not show this one. We've got Merry Christmas going on. So Merry Christmas with the shadow. And then gift card. And then that pulls right through. And you can close it on up. Somebody after my own heart made a Merry Christmas gift bag, and they have it closing in the back versus me having it closed in the front. You decide. And we've got some Swiss Miss going on in here. And then look at how pretty is this using the paper from Simple and Basic. Isn't that beautiful? My goodness, how elegant. And then the very last one is with the snowflakes like I did. And they don't have it closing at all. They just have it open. And we've got some hot chocolate in there. All right, you guys, I'm afraid to see my face. I bet there's green and purple and red all over it. I told you it was going to be a class, but I told you there was technique to it. And we started simple. We started easy. If you're the newest of crafter, you're going to be able to do the embossing and the stenciling absolutely. And then you're going to dive into those die cuts and those stamps, and you're going to make it your own. You're going to start so timid. I know you because I was you. And with new things, I still am you. With new techniques and new products, I start out so timid. I'll like try a little bit and then try a little bit, and that's my experience too. I'm no different than you. You start where you're comfortable, and then you grow into it, and you get fearless, and you get creative, and you get courageous in attempting, keeping in mind it's just paper. That's all. I played with primarily white paper today. It was just paper, and there wasn't anything that did everything come out perfect. No, close, but not perfect. But it's okay, it's handmade, and it was made by you, and it is your art, and whomever you give it to is never going to see that one little imperfection that is driving you crazy. There's one imperfection on here that's driving me crazy, but whomever I give it to is only going to know that I made it with love, and that's what they're going to see. They're going to see the effort and the love put behind it. So, give yourself grace when you are being crafty and creative, and be courageous and try a little bit outside your box. Trust me, next week's YouTube, I am definitely stepping, is it next week or the end of the month? There's one YouTube this month. I am definitely stepping outside my box, and I am still playing with the product to get myself to a place where I feel I can show it to you. I am in the same place you are. It just different products. So I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you learned something. I hope maybe you scrap lift from something. I hope that I answered a question for you, or maybe I sparked a question in you that you might want us to answer. You can always give us a call. I can't be sure. It won't usually be me who answers the phone. Sometimes I'm able to answer the phones, but if there's something we can do, you can always give us a call. Our retail store, because we are a retail store, is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember, we're in sunny California, so when it's noon our time, it's 3 p.m. over on the East Coast. All right, you guys, where are you going to get all this crafty fun? Well, a lot of it you're going to find here. The Creative Expressions embossing folders and stencils you may be able to get at your local independent retailer. Simple and Basic we import, and I think we're the only company that imports them here in the United States, so that's something from us. And the Luster Wax, well, it's exclusive here too, but maybe you have product that's similar, although you're really gonna love the Luster Wax, trust me. All right, you guys, I'm off to spend my anniversary with my wonderful husband and some wonderful friends. I have Fearless Fiona coming for Disneyland. Wish me luck. I have Fearless Fiona, Ta-da, it's Taylor, and Sizzix Sarah, and Mr. SMS at Disneyland on Sunday. And I'm the tour guide with the flag that says, follow me, and chop chop. So I'll try and take some pictures and post them on Instagram and Facebook. But until then, I am Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you Monday for our next Make It Monday event. And it is everything about it. It's Tim Holtz. Okay, it's Tim Holtz for $19.99. You wait for it. It's good. All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.